You better get ready for a brand new day. The Cubs are gonna win today.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of You Don't Know Cubs. The Cubs just wrapped up the Rangers series, dropped the final two games where they didn't score a run. So a little disappointing end to the week. But, I mean, it was an overall great week against the Reds. Absolutely bullied them. Went to Texas for the first game, put up a pretty strong performance. I know Seiya had a key bomb. Like, we love to see Conforto kept balling, and then, like I said, a little lackluster end to the week. But I'm still not worried. We got a great week of baseball ahead of us. We got a huge series against the Braves. Two of the best teams in the MLB record-wise. And I think overall, I mean, you look at the MLB power rankings today, number 1 and number 2 were the Braves and the Cubs. So it's going to be a great series. And then to end the week, we got the Crosstown Classic. Okay, and this might be one of the most anticipated Crosstown Classics we've seen in a while, even though the Cubs have had the White Sox number. They've won 12 out of the last 14. Last year, they went 5-1 against the White Sox. So the Cubs have been pretty much owning them. But in anticipation with this series, we got a diehard White Sox fan. I don't know if I want to say diehard, but a pretty significant White Sox fan here. We got Jake in the house to bring a little different perspective to the competition. So, Jake, why don't you give a quick introduction, a little background, who you are, what the viewers should know heading into this podcast.
So I'm Jake, originally from northwest suburbs of Chicago. Grew up a White Sox fan, then baseball kind of died out for me. Certain reasons, whether it's because I realized that baseball is sometimes boring, and then now I can gamble on it, so now I'm back into it.
Yeah.
Granted, the Sox haven't been good the past few years, the past 5 years, I guess we could say. But now I'm starting to get back into it, and they're finally exciting to watch. The rebuild is over.
Is it though? Is it though?
Whoa.
That's up for debate. That's up for debate.
Pump the brakes a little bit there, okay?
But all right, yeah, no, that's great. So we'll get into the little beef there. What we got? I know you got some takes on some of the hot players like PCA. I got my own takes on Murakami and of course Colton Montgomery, another stud that's up and coming on the White Sox. So we'll get into that real quick. But before, I just want to wrap up the final 2 games of the Cubs series because I think we need to talk about that. They did not put up a single run in the last 2 games. I think offensively, what did you see there, Dad, from the Cubs side in those final 2 games?
It's all nothing. I mean, they look like a team that's a little tired. You know, I mean, come on, you came off another 10-game winning streak. You know, you're bound to have something happen. Saturday's game was a little disappointing because that's what I said. I'm a little afraid of watching these Cubs. You know, when they don't hit, they don't score runs. They wait for that home run bomb. It's kind of like you were saying about your Yankees. You know, that's the problem with them too. But the same thing with the Cubs. You know, Friday night they had a lot of hits. I love that. They're getting a lot of hits, timely hitting. So it was a little scary on Saturday. Yesterday, it still didn't show much life. But I think getting the day off today should be good going into Atlanta. You know, are they going to face a tough team? Yeah. I mean, is Atlanta really that good?
They're scrappy.
Chris Sale.
Yeah,
they are scrappy. Acuna's supposed to, well, some say that he could be coming back Wednesday or Thursday.
So
I don't think they're going to bring him back until the weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the difference because he isn't really balling this year yet.
Yeah.
But they're scrappy. Olsen's their stud this year. For some reason, the dude is hitting. So
yeah, he's
that's gonna be a
second
tough
MVP
matchup.
odds right now. Matt Olson behind Shohei. So
Yeah, their pitching's going to be tough because that's the thing. Cabrera on Saturday, he really laid an egg. I mean,
that's what I was more confused about. I'm like, is Cabrera regressing a little bit, or is it just kind of he was amped up his first couple starts being in Chicago, and now that he's settled in a little bit, not as intense that he's going with his starts. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But with the Cubs pitching staff, that's down their 3 top guys now. If you want to include Boyd as a top guy, but we need Cabrera to be that number 1. Shota has stepped out, like we talked about a lot, so he's there. But yeah, Cabrera, we need to see a little bit more from him. But
he's got to come out because here's the thing too with Shota. He's due for a letdown.
True, very true.
And will it be actually? He may not face the Sox because I think he pitches Thursday.
Okay.
So he may not face the Sox, which in essence, way the Sox supposedly, allegedly are playing. I have yet to see one inning. I haven't even seen one pitch. So I don't know how good these guys really think they are, but we'll get into that. But Shota's due for a letdown, so that's kind of scary. We got Ben Brown coming back, after Friday's game.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be pitching in Atlanta too. So I don't really know how the matchup's going to be for the Sox, but this is going to be a tough one with the Braves. Cubs have been getting, lucky with their pitching. And the only reason they've been getting lucky too, which people forget, is their defense has just been, there's no other defense in the league better than the Cubs.
None.
And that
Yeah.
makes mediocre pitching look great. So, people forget about that. Yeah, they got weak pitching. Okay, but they have the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
So that's why their pitching has been pretty solid. But you give up those bombs, I don't know. So it's going to be scary.
No, so I'm looking right now. The Cubs got Colin Ray, Shota, and Ben Brown versus the Braves. So that means Cabrera will face the White Sox. We got on the weekend, but yeah, they're gonna miss out on Shota.
So they got Cabrera, then they got JMO, and who would be their third guy then?
Would Colin Ray come back on Sunday?
Colin Ray pitches tomorrow. Yeah, he would be their fifth starter. Yeah, that's going to be kind of scary. Because like I say, this is the White Sox World Series. This is it
now
for
we
them.
need to now I'm gonna have to look up do we got our boy Noah Schultz on the mound versus the Cubs this weekend?
Against the Cubs, I actually checked that when I figured.
Okay.
Oh, I hear all this talk about this guy is the best. He's the next Randy Johnson.
He's 22 years old. You got to give him time to develop. Like,
how much time?
What do you mean? I mean, he's 2-2 right now.
Well, because
he's pumping guys. The next start, okay, he's a little shaky.
Well, I'm just basing off this text. This guy. I'm not going to dox him right now, but we've been with Sam. We've been getting a lot.
I'm sure the viewers are like, "Who is this guy?" We've been talking about this unknown figure
from Arizona.
Yeah,
and
a legend.
Yeah, and he, here's the thing. He hates the Cubs, so he's very biased. He hates the Cubs, so he's biased. But he's been saying Noah Schultz is the next thing since Paul Skeens. I haven't seen it. The last start I just happened to look up, he gave up 7 runs in 2 innings. So I don't know. Big deal. He could throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
Great frame for a pitcher. Lefty. I mean, he throws gas, and when he has the control, he what do you have? 8 strikeouts the 2 starts ago and win. I mean, he looked great then. I mean, he's just one game he's playing brutal. Next game he's going 7 with like 6 to 7 Ks at that game. Then he gets shelled the next game. So it's like he's just gotta. I don't know what he's got to do. Maybe he's got to develop a little rhythm.
Yeah.
Getting used to the ballparks, these hitters. I don't know.
Yeah, he sounds a little young.
He is young.
He's from Oswego too, so
I know. He was a year younger than
Homegrown
Sammy,
kid.
I think. I think he was a year younger than you because I remember watching him.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
2
he's
years.
22. So yeah, 1
Yeah,
year
he's a year younger than you. I remember. I forgot which team he was on in the travel leagues, but
Yeah.
he was pretty good. But they got a lot. They got a lot. He's got to step it up against the Royals. So the Sox got to play the Royals. So that's good. The Royals to me are just starting to hit a stride here. You look at the American League division. Everyone says, "Oh, they're almost there." Here's a fact that I know. What constitutes a losing team? When you're below 500, you're a losing team. All right. So right now the Sox are losers until they. I don't care if they're a game out of first or whatever. They're still a losing team. I'm not going to waste my time watching a losing team. I have not seen one pitch of the White Sox all year. Actually, last year, too, I haven't seen them. So I don't know anything about them. I really don't care to know anything about them. But I am looking forward to seeing this weekend because it is the White Sox World Series. Cubs got nothing to lose.
I mean, but my thing is I think these next 3 games for the White Sox is more of a World Series than the Cubs. I mean, this is KC we're talking about. That's
true.
They're in our division. We're still up there. We're second in the division. I mean, and like this division's weak. It's up in the air. I may think that we have a better chance of winning our division than the Cubs have than the Cubs do.
That's the problem with White Sox fans right there. That is the problem.
I mean,
yeah.
you guys talk about how great your division is. Our division's trash. The White Sox are battling. I mean, Sunday was a great example. The White Sox would have never won that game last year or the year before. They found a way to win. And that's just positive thinking. And I think this team's on the right track. got
You
young
know,
guys. They got good hitting. Their pitching when their pitching shows up, I mean, they're pretty solid, man.
But here's the thing with young guys playing too. It's a 162 game season. What's the most these kids have played? They played probably 85 ball games. It's a long stretch. When you get into the dog days of August, that's when they start to fall apart. So being young that's all great and dandy. That's good. That's excitement. Yippee, yippee, yippee. You're still, below 500, so I can care less at that point. But I want to see what you do in August. All right. If it's August and you guys, 3, 4 games over 500, all right, I'll let you eat a little crow here. You guys are playing. That's a long
that's
way to go yet.
that's my take. So you're saying that the Royal Series is the World Series, more of a World Series than the Cubs, which is just that.
Importance-wise, yeah.
But important wise, like that is implied. That take right there is implying that the White Sox are actually going to compete for a playoff spot this year. Now,
I got a few bets in already early.
first of all, you got the Tigers are still much better in the division. I think the Twins are at the bottom right now. They're a much better complete team than the White Sox. The White Sox have the worst run differential. And it's like everyone in that division is within 2 games of first place. And you got the Guardians. They just traded for 2-time Gold Glove catcher. They're going all in on this year. That division, the White Sox are still the worst team in that division. So my point is, if you're not winning the division, but if you do beat the Cubs in a series in the Crosstown Classic, it's a successful season for the White Sox. So to say that the Royals series is the World Series is implying that you're actually competing. No. If you beat the Cubs, that is a successful season because the White Sox aren't going anywhere.
No, they are. And if you're going to make a bet,
Going somewhere. That's the thing. I mean,
yeah, they're just going down. If you're going to make a bet,
cash out keeps going up. I don't know about you.
all right, if you're going to make a bet, put your money on Cleveland. Cleveland's winning that division. All right. All the other teams in that division are not playing up to par. All right. So they're all not playing. Sox are playing above average. The other teams are playing below.
Yeah.
So once Cleveland starts playing, and Scooble's coming back sooner than they thought, once Detroit starts playing, I mean, they all got more talent. Yeah. KC has been playing like shit. So this is a big matchup for them. They need to put it together. So
when was the D-backs year when they went to the World Series? I'm not saying the Sox went to the World or going to the World Series.
It was 2023. 2023.
And everyone was saying, like, they were young. They had a bunch of young guys. They had, so-so pitching. And then those young pitchers ended up coming in and developing throughout the season. And they made a run. I mean, there's always that one team that nobody thinks about that sneaks their way into the playoffs.
I just think the D-backs had way more talent on the team.
They had more talent, yeah.
You got
I mean,
Corbin
they started
Carroll.
with Corbin Carroll was their big gun. Who did they have at first base? Walker. I mean, they had some.
Who's the guy I'm blanking of? He was their 3 hitter. He had like the purple hair. Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Well, Martell had just came to the team.
Right. Yeah, like he.
I mean, he had just came. He's a stud. I mean, they had a lot more talent where these players have been there a little bit. They may have been young, but they weren't fresh out of double A or triple A. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has a chance, but you got to remember and enjoy it now. Sox fans, enjoy it now. Because like I will say, this is their World Series. This is their attendance booster playing the Cubs. The Cubs are going to boost attendance. Now I got this, text that the Sox don't need the Cubs to boost their attendance. They've got 5 games over 30,000 this year alone. Well, I got to fact check this guy because he told me, make sure you tell the facts. Well, the Sox have had only 3 games this year over 25,000. One was opening day. 2 was a Saturday night game. It was a promo day where they're giving out free jackets and jerseys on April 25th. That's why. And they were okay. So that's why there's 15,000 they gave away. And it was UIC free baseball night. So that's why they had 35,000. The other game was just past Saturday, 25,000. There was a promo on Saturday's game too. Those are 3 games over 25,000. They are averaging this year 16,300 fans. So I want to state that because this guy's trying to tell me that they don't need the Cubs. They're drawing people are coming to the South Side. No, they're not. 16,300 fans per game. All right, so they need the Cubs.
Did you see yesterday's stadium? Jam-packed.
19,247 on Mother's Day.
Pulling up the stats
On Mother's Day. I got the official stat. Pull
How
it up on
is
Google.
a Cubs fan getting that
Pull it
stat?
up on Google. 19,247 was the official attendance for Mother's Day.
This is my
That
problem with
yeah.
Cub fans. This is my
Yeah.
problem with Cub fans. Is you're always bringing up attendance and stuff like that,
No,
right?
I didn't. Another
Half of
guy
the
did.
half of the fans at Wrigley at those games aren't even Cub fans. They go to Wrigley Field. They got a business trip.
Party
You
time.
want it, it's
What's
party.
that say though? They're going to a Cubs game over a White Sox fan. If you got a business trip, why do you want to go to a Cubs game?
Wait till the Sox get that new stadium in the rail yard in the South Loop and start seeing how many people.
Who's
show
going to
up.
pay for that stadium? They can't even keep the Bears. They,
Just like I was going to
they
pay
can't
for the
even keep the
Samurai
Bears.
stay.
They're going to have to go to Indiana too with the Bears. You know, that's the only
HBA's
way.
got it. HBA's
I've
got
actually
more
I've actually never been
I
to
don't
to
know.
White Sox. Is this still called guaranteed or rate field? I've never actually been.
guaranteed rate.
I was.
I mean, it's a great.
I feel like it's a bitch to get there. Like so
It
it's,
is. I was there. I think it was 10 years ago with Joey because we were going to go see the Yankees. So I'm taking Joey to go see the Yankees there, and it was a Tuesday night free hot dog night or whatever to like the fifth inning or seventh inning. I didn't get to my seat, and I left the house at 3 o'clock until the bottom of the fifth inning. I went to go get a hot dog. It's the seventh inning. And I said, I will never go to a Sox game again. And I haven't since. I haven't been to one since.
I had a buddy tell me if you turn the Sox stadium around, like if you just flipped it, it would be one of the best looking stadiums in all the MLB with the skyline in the background and everything. I mean, that stadium's nice. It's way more comfortable than Wrigley. I mean, Wrigley is just a party. Let's face it.
It is.
You know,
Well, it is. It is.
I
It
bought a
is.
ticket 4 times to a Cubs game. Half the time I didn't even make it to the stadium, and neither did my alleged Cub fans.
Well, because you're at the bars. That's why. And I know you. You're sitting at the bars. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
You went too early. That's why. Don't go early. Go. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I haven't taken these guys to a lot of Cubs games. We always went to either Milwaukee, we went to Cincinnati. They're more family friendly. So
Yeah.
I didn't go to a lot of Wrigley Field games because it isn't the greatest to bring a family to. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But they sell out. They sell out, so you can't beat that. But attendance wise, I just wanted to make that note because he brought up 3 points, attendance, and his other big thing is 2 other things. Rookie of the year. So let me tell you something. You're just gonna sit around and watch these Sox because you have the potential rookie of the year. Whoopee. All right. Cubs have been there too. I mean, I can bring up the facts. Jerome Walton, well, he was probably before you were born.
Yeah.
I did watch the Cubs. I was all excited. We got Jerome Walton. He's going to be rookie of the year. We got Giovanni Soto, which Sam was a Giovanni Soto fan. He's rookie of the year.
Legend.
I mean, I don't know about a Cubs legend. I mean, you got Chris Bryant at least. At least Chris Bryant took the Cubs to a World Series. So I'm not sitting around watching the Sox because you might have a Rookie of the Year candidate. Whippy, what is that going to get you at the end of the day? By comes October, nobody cares. So I'm just giving shit to my other buddy. He says
Yeah.
that's why you got to watch him. You know that, and now we got to watch. Because this new guy, this pitcher, Dean Martin, I guess he's resurrected from the dead. He was a singer, and now he's a pitcher for the Sox. I don't know. Dean Martin's a pitcher.
I think he just
Yeah,
had
and
back 10K days.
Okay, so he might be an all-star. It's the same guy that's ripping me about Matt Boyd, who was an all-star last year for the Cubs. Yippee! At the end of the day, you forget about it. That's your big. Those are his 3 big things: is attendance is up, Rookie of the Year candidate, and we might have an all-star pitcher. That's why you got to watch the Sox. Come
I
on.
mean, their lineup. I mean, they're 2, 3, and 4 hitters. I mean, they're probably the hottest hitters in baseball right now.
The only guy I know on that team that's in the lineup is Antonucci because I saw when he got called up because he's Italian.
Yeah, just because he's Italian. He's
that's
fun
it.
to watch too. The one guy I have problems with is that Montgomery guy. He's just got, or not Montgomery. The second baseman, I'm blanking on his name. He's got the most punchable face in all of the league. He's like 5 foot nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
I will
Mary.
finally.
Mydrith. Chase
Mydrith. Actually, that's his son's buddy.
Yeah, he's got a punchable face.
He's got a bunch of but now I will watch the game. I'll see who these Sox really are. I'll see there's Murkua, whoever his name is. I just got called a racist because I couldn't pronounce his name. People who know me know that I have a problem pronouncing names to begin
Yeah, there's
with.
been a couple times in
So
this pod where he's called Dansby, Swansby. So
I
yeah,
love
that
saying
just
different
shows.
names. So, all I'm saying is I will finally watch it. And if the Sox are that exciting, like he keeps saying, they're the greatest team, why hasn't the national media picked up on this and had any of these games on like Saturday Night Baseball, Fox or ESPN or TBS? They're not on anything because they're not that exciting at this point.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to say about the Sox.
Yeah.
He said the country is talking and taking notes right now, how great the Sox are. Then put them on TV. Put them on so I can see
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with Murakami too is you look at I know strikeouts are kind of a thing of the past. If you're hitting a lot of bombs, a lot of people don't look at strikeouts like they are. But Murakami does have 60 Ks. That is the second most in the MLB, only to O'Neal Cruz. In fact, he also has the highest whiff rate in the MLB, 43.1% whiff rate, and he's also got a 34.7% K rate. Little stats for you, but it just shows like if he's not hitting the long ball, he is having some ugly strikeouts. So when you look at rookie of the year, is his production from like a hitting power standpoint, is that going to be sustainable all year? That's why I don't think him rookie of the year is a good bet because he can easily get into a slump and his stats are going to tank. That's why I'm not a huge he's been doing great so far. I will give him props. It's been peace in the ball. But like from a player aspect, there's a reason he signed a 2-year contract for 30 something million when there was other teams, all these other teams were looking at it. It's because they didn't want to offer him this big contract because his K rate, he had a strikeout problem issue. We'll see if that.
Plus, they were saying today on the radio about that too, that because he was promoting himself as a third baseman and nobody wanted him to play third base. So the Sox says, well, we got plenty of holes to fill. Let's throw him at first base where a lot of teams didn't want to. I was
Yeah.
listening to Steve Stone talk about him today, and he did make a point that, yeah, once he starts playing these teams for the second time, they're going to start pitching to him a little bit different. Then
Yeah.
we're going to see how he can handle a lot of these pitchers. So he does have a lot, to prove here yet. Yeah, he has hit some bombs. I have yet to see any. So hopefully he won't hit any
See him
against
on
the Cubs.
Instagram, on his MLB's posting MLB's main page.
I don't watch it. Don't bore me with
All
that
right.
stuff.
So this is what I want to get into too. So for the viewers at home, if there's anyone that's out here thinking like, why are the White Sox really living rent free in Cubs fans heads? You guys are always talking about it. Anyone that's saying that, the way that we grew up, you could talk about who the Cubs' biggest rival is. Is it the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Red, like whatever? The White Sox were our biggest rival, at least in our household. I was raised to hate the White Sox, and that's literally, that's just how we grew up. So like, anytime the Cubs and White Sox plays, yeah, it means a little bit more, and I think that's good with the crossout classic. This should be. The north and south side, like fans go at it. I think it's a great rivalry in sports. And so to that point, I feel like us two on this pod so far have been kind of bashing on Murakami and all the White Sox, why they suck. I want to hear Jake, I want to hear your point. I know you got some things to say about PCA, and I know you're not a huge fan of him. What's your current take on him? What do you got to say about him?
He's doing well now. I get it. I mean, he actually lost me a lot of money. I had the Reds money line trying to take a win streak on that,
Yeah.
walk off homer. The whole Caleb Williams and whoever that tall white guy is on the Bulls.
Who is
Cole
that
Bennett?
guy? I don't even know
With
who
like
it
Cole
is.
Bennett and I don't know the basketball player. I'm
The
not sure.
basketball player Cole Bennett. I mean, the Sox. This is all I gotta say. PCA couldn't play for the White Sox. He couldn't play for them. We're like a gritty team, right? PCA is.
He's too good for you. You're right.
He
You're right.
He is.
He starts yelling about LA as a show me state or show me city. You're a show me player. Granted, it's great for baseball, whatever. But the way Cubs fans talk about PCA is by far he's the most supported Chicago player that doesn't perform until
Did you have to see his bomb? Game time bomb? Did you not just watch that?
Just like how you guys were talking about, it's only May, talk to me in August. Well, let's see what he does in the playoffs. So let's see what he does in May.
Sam, you would know this. How many games defensively has PCA alone won this year for the Cubs?
PCA leads the MLB right now in 5-star catches with 4 or 5-star catches. And I think his defensive runs saved is around 8 or 9, leads the MLB.
He's the highest. Actually, I think he's 11, actually.
Or not defensive. I was out above average or whatever the stat is. I might be botching that, but yeah,
Right.
it's up there. And he's saved single-handedly won Cubs games defensively. Offensively, he's starting to pick
Yes.
it up. The past couple weeks, like he's been ramping it up, and his at bats were pretty good.
I totally agree. I just want to see him do it when it really matters. It's easy to do it now, right? Just like how you guys are talking about the White Sox. So it's still super early. I want to see him do it when it counts. And also, let's face it. I remember when Cubs fans used to root for they used to want hitters: Chris Bryant, Schwarber, Rizzo, the guys that won you a World Series, and now you're backing up. Oh well, he wins with our gloves. He's getting hot.
Uh,
Like,
well,
how much money
he's
are you paying this guy, and he's the face of your franchise?
actually. I think they got a pretty good bargain for him
Yeah, no,
compared to what he should have signed for.
uh,
But
I,
um,
I just don't like the fact that he's considered like this glory of all glory gods of baseball players in the Cub fans' heads.
it's only because he's young and exciting, and he brings the energy every night. That's why Cubs fans all love him. When you really look at the team, he's not the I. He's the face of the franchise because of his energy. When you talk about best player, everyone knows that the Cubs' best player right now is Nico Horner and even Bregman. I would put Bregman as the Cubs' best player, to be honest.
yeah, I don't know, Bob. Yeah, but all
But
right.
like,
I'm giving you.
Better that I like that guy. He just shuts up.
I mean, Mobile I don't know, the past week
Past
he's
few
been
games,
struggling.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's he's been
But he's
struggling.
due
Yeah, what
he's
do
due
you?
to turn around. I feel like the Cubs at his whole like you're not gonna be able to keep up that insane pace that he had. Because I mean, look at Conforto. He sucked to start the year. Now he's you know who has a higher
God, I think
OPS than Murakami? Michael Conforto. So he's been balling.
That's another thing. Hold on, I let you do your spiel about how when pitchers see him again. Who's that Angels pitcher? He's supposed to be he's the
Soriano.
Mariano.
Yeah, Soriano, right? The Sox took him for all the runs in the world. Well, guess what? Murakami faced him in the first game. I'm pretty sure he teed off on him. In the second game, he teed off on him. So if he's one of the better pitchers in MLB, how long is it going to take for them to actually catch on? Or is he just a good hitter? I'll take 50 homers and all those strikeouts. And people forget that he walks a lot too. Like he does have a good eye. So
What's his on base? Is he? Didn't Soriano get traded today, or is that just
No,
a
That was
meme?
definitely some.
That was mean that he got traded to the Phillies for Brian
he did
Stout.
not. No, he did not. Get
I know,
traded.
and that popped up to about 4 o'clock.
That was some
today.
like
What?
Doug Kleeman type. I don't know. That was,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
not
like
real.
that. For Brian Stott. I mean, come on, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. But yeah, no, Soriano, he started off hot. I think the White Sox were his 2 bad games, and then he bounced back in his last start. So I get your point there. Like if he's hitting up on good pitching, but like I'm sure there's other examples of that. That's just one kind of cherry picked example. I'm sure the other pitchers that he's faced is he's struggled against too. So I'll give him credit, like Soriano. But I'm interested to see how he does against like Cabrera and even Tyone. Like I don't know. Will he? I feel like this will be the series that the White Sox have the most pressure on them. 'Cause
No, they don't have pressure. Got nothing to lose because they're supposed to
compared to
lose.
all of their other games, I'm saying like this is when you got a little more buzz on them. You know, it means a little bit more in this rivalry
Well,
game.
it does mean more for them, but they're supposed to lose and the Cubs are supposed to win. So that's the point. Is it really for the Cubs if they lose? They still got, another 159 more games to go. They're stacking wins. That's right now they're stacking wins, just like Council says. That's all we're doing, stacking wins. So if you run into a dry spell against the Sox, big deal. Let the Sox enjoy it. But we'll
What
be in
happens-
October.
What happens here though if the Cubs lose two to the Braves? Shoot, they might even lose 3 because they're finally going to play a really good team. And then
Playing
So
the
I
best
guess the
division in
Dodgers,
baseball, by
the
the way.
Padres, the Arizona. It's all I kept hearing. Oh, then they're not facing their
I'll tell
top
you what, like,
aces.
you guys played the Phillies. You guys played the Mets. Then the Phillies.
We play in the best division in baseball.
Phillies,
Yeah.
Mets,
At the
then
time.
Phillies again.
Yeah, but at the time, they were saying the Phillies and the Mets, they're the best teams. Then the Cubs win and kill the Phillies 7. Oh, the Phillies suck. Well, it's because the Cubs beat up on them. That's why they suck. Yeah. The Mets were supposed to be a great team. Look at all the money they spent. I can't help it that they just actually tank. Can't hit the ball right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've been a
think
disappointment.
If the Sox win 2 games, if they win this series, just 2 games, it's gonna be a confidence boost for them too. But if they win the Royals series and the Cubs series, the buzz is gonna start coming for the White Sox.
I'll give you
I'll give
that.
you that because then
I'll
they'll
give
be
you that.
four
Yeah.
and two, and they'll be what? Well, will they finally be at 500 then?
Yeah. Yeah. They
Yeah,
would.
they'll be at 500 then. Yeah.
They'll finally, yeah. So they got to go 4 and 2 to finally be at 500.
I don't
All
know.
right, yeah.
I don't know. I think, yeah. Me personally, I just think for this series, like this one is more for the fans than it is the players. Like I think
Yeah.
I don't think Murakami's like, oh, we gotta beat the Cubs. I don't think Montgomery's.
He don't know. Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
I don't
understand
think,
that.
I'm glad Schultz isn't pitching in this series because
Ah.
the way he was on his first MLB start, he was a little anxious.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just nerves. So Lord knows what's going to happen when he's in a Cubs Sox, being from Chicago, hating the Cubs.
Oh, that would have been definitely that would have been a good one. The worst thing that can happen. I just looked at the weather. They're calling for rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
the worst thing it's like 50% every day. It's the worst thing can happen for the Sox because now their attendance can be back to 16,000. Because as a Cub fan, we're not driving over to South Side in the rain.
We're staying at Wrigley. We're going to the bars.
Yeah, we'll go to the bars in Wrigley and watch the game.
Actually, got bars.
Real Cubs fans are going to go because the tickets will be a little bit cheaper than Wrigley.
oh, that's true. And,
All the suits are taking up all the tickets at the Cubs.
yeah, well, and then there'll probably be some giveaways on Saturday. So hopefully they'll be giving PCA jerseys out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Here's another take that we were talking about in our group message. Well, he was a Sox fan, but I'm going to take Murakami over PCA any day of the week.
No,
All right,
not because of
yeah.
defense.
And now I know why you go to Vegas and lose.
I won this weekend.
Come on.
I won this weekend.
Were you there for the fights?
The golf tournament for some vendors. So.
Golf tournament, yeah. So that's a whole nother issue too.
Yeah.
But I will say, I do think like the fans, because the White Sox fans are now chirping Cub fans. And when was the last time you got chirped by a Sox fan? It's probably been.
Well, I mean that does add to it. That does add to the excitement of the upcoming series. There was a little bit talk today. You know, it's funny. Every time the Sox have success on the radio, now I listen to the Score back home a lot, obviously, but a lot of Sox fans are calling and saying, well, Score is biased because it's the Cubs' home station. They don't talk enough about it. But there are two guys that absolutely love the Sox. So today, the biggest talk was the Bulls. So it took away again for the Sox having a successful weekend against Seattle. The whole hype was about the Cubs losing and the Bulls, which to be honest with you, I didn't know anyone still.
They get it. They got a top 5 pick, right? They get like a.
I heard they got number 4. They were supposed to get number 9. They got number 4. And that was all day was about the Bulls. So the Sox didn't even get any love again today. So
We've never gotten love. That's the problem. Like, we never gotten love. It's okay. We know we're the second team in Chicago. That's why our fans are better than Cub fans, because it's easy to be a Cub fan. You get to go have fun at Wrigley even when they do.
exactly, and you get to root for
Sox fan,
winners.
you're showing up in those cold games on a Tuesday night. I mean, you're a real fan there. I mean,
It's the same 9,000 people.
He left after the bottom of the 8th inning, and they made a comeback. Like you,
That's a true fan that leaves, because I always leave early, so I always like to get home, beat the traffic.
Sox
That's a
fans are
true fan.
tailgating, get the charcoal grill going. I mean,
Because there's no bars to go to. That's
Yeah.
why you can't even go get a
that's
slice
whole
of
other
pizza.
thing, too. I mean,
Yeah.
and let's talk about this too. I'm so glad this series is not at Wrigley. I mean, the black magic that's going on at Wrigley the past few weeks is just.
That is true.
It's I don't even know how to explain it. It has nothing to do with the Cubs being great, with a great baseball team.
Hey,
Maybe it's because I'm betting against them all the time.
Could be that. Could be that.
With that black magic, man, I mean, it is unbelievable.
Did you take
God,
the three walk-offs in a row? Did you bet against them all 3 games?
No, I took
Okay.
them. I took them the one where PCA hit the homer.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Did you know
Who would've
that
thought
we
that?
brought this up on the last podcast? Did you know that was out in only 1 out of 30 ballparks, and that was at Wrigley Field? Yeah. So
That's a shame.
What's the record away? Because I feel like it's not that good.
I think they're like 500 away. Maybe like 10-8. Last
That's
week, right? It's not terrible.
That's all you
but-
got to do. They always said it. Just got to be 500 on the road and win it home.
I
Yeah,
just
maybe
So
not.
think with the Sox, it's finally like good. It's finally fun to watch the Sox, in my opinion. And I think the rebuild is over. It's not like when you start winning these games and you're getting competitive and you're beating the Mariners in a 3-game series and you win a 2-1 ball game that you should have lost, but you found a way to win, and you have all these young guns in the middle of the or coming up in the farm system and in the middle of the lineup. Why? Like I saw your take, Sammy, and about like, oh, we should trade Murakami
Yeah.
at the deadline, get it while it's hot. It's like no, like you can build off of a guy like him.
yeah,
You
but see,
he brings the energy.
listen though. Yeah, but listen, take away that Sox fan energy right there. Listen to what he was saying. He's 100% right. There was discussion today on the radio about that. I mean, they got a 2-year deal with this guy. That's it. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Now, next year's going to be, it's going to be, are they going to even play next year? So they may only have 1 year.
Okay.
And this guy he did a 2-year deal with the thought that he's going to prove and he's going to come to to the United States, play ball for a big contract. Sox aren't going to give him a bigger contract than Bennett, whatever. I can't pronounce his name.
I
What,
heard
Yeah.
Benettini?
Ishbia's
Benintendi.
gonna pay. Ishbia's gonna pay, man. I mean, you got
Uh,
Yeah.
Ishbia. He's got the money. He loves the Sox.
I'll have to believe it when I see it.
yeah, well, that's
I
definitely it.
saw.
Because they're going to have to pay these so-called pitchers. They're going to have to pay everyone. The
The
Cubs
one
don't
thing,
do that.
the one thing I will say, I would if Martin stays doing what he's doing, I would say trade him. I'd trade him at the trade deadline if we're not competing, which I think we are. So don't trade him. But if you could trade him and get some more pieces, I don't like keeping pitchers, especially.
Who is this Dean Martin guy? I mean, who is
He
it?
I don't know much about him from the past. All I know is he was no good. He was no good for a long time, and now he's
How
got
old
you
is he?
fired. I think he's 26, 28 maybe, 26, 28.
So he's not a
Yeah,
young
look that
kid.
up.
He's been
No,
around the league.
he's been around the
Oh,
league, and I
so
think
he could be another Matt Boyd.
He's
That's my point.
29. Yeah, he's 29.
All right, so he could be another Matt Boyd. He could be
but
another Colin Ray.
Mhm.
Is
if
what he
we're
can be.
competing, and you're telling me if we're competing, then maybe I'd step back right at the trade deadline. I'd step
No,
back.
you're 100% right. Yeah, he's trade bait at that point. Yeah, you can get something for him if he's 29 years old. That's smart
Murakami,
business.
Murakami as an owner, if I'm an owner, I'm doing everything to keep Murakami because you know how the Japanese market is when it comes to getting the White Sox name to Japan
True.
would be
Yeah.
great for the White Sox. I've seen videos of people talking about saying they're from Chicago in Japan, right? And the bartender's talking about, oh, Chicago White Sox, like just because Murakami's on the team, and you see if he can keep it up. I say keep him, and he seems like he loves the team, and he's young too. With all these guys that are all young, I just saw him out at the bars after a big win, just hanging out, just guys being guys, and he's with them. I think he's great for the team, and the team loves him. So why not keep him? And hey, if he hits 50 homers and strikes out a bunch, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Well, everyone, yeah, if you hit 50 homers, everyone's fine with it. But, that's a long ways to go yet to get to 50. A long ways to go. So if they
Yeah.
can keep them, fine. But that is a good point, though. They have to be as a business. You got to start thinking, what do we do with this guy? Do we sign him now? Is he willing to sign an extension now? Sox fans want him, obviously, to be there. But if you're him and you're his agent, you're thinking, let's just take a step back here. Let's maybe get to that 50 homers. Then we're really going to put the screws to the White Sox. But what's going to happen because of next year? I mean, that's a big gamble the Sox are going to make. So, and we'll truly find out is why did all the other major league teams pass up on him? We'll truly find out then.
Yeah. No,
Maybe they all missed.
I
Maybe
think it
they
was the
missed.
strikeout. Definitely the strikeouts were concerning, and that's my thing with like Murakami. Yeah, as a Sox fan, you probably want to keep him, but like, are the Sox really going to spend that money? B, is what he's doing right now sustainable? Is it really accurate of the player he is? This has been 3-4 weeks of his entire career. We've seen this. Like, yeah, he's got the potential. He's shown the ceiling of it. Can he keep it up? Like, I want to see a full sample size of the whole season for him. But like in the Sox position, you risking that because you can get a lot of value for him at the deadline. Like you can. I just don't think they're going to be competing. So this is like the most he's ever going to be worth as a trade target, especially because he's got a year and a half control, so teams can have 2 playoff runs with him before they got to extend him. This is the most value you will ever get. So that's why I think they got to consider it. I mean, as a fan, though, I understand it because he's been very exciting. He seems like the player to build around from a business aspect.
Well, there's a lot of questions got to be answered. You got to wait till basically the All-Star game. You got to see if he does have the stats, number one, to get that type of money, and you got to see if the Sox where they are in contention, and you got to look at the main thing: are they willing to spend the money to make a contending team, or they just want to fill the stands with 22,000? That's the thing. Yeah, they have a little bump.
We're gonna have
Is
the
all.
best stadiums in all of the MLB, maybe of all of professional sports when we build
They
this.
said that when they built Guaranteed too. When they
Build
dumped
this
down
rail yard in
Comiskey.
the South Loop, it's gonna be unbelievable. You gotta have some players.
Is that in stone? Is that actually happening?
That's interesting.
I've never heard
It's
of
the
that.
first I heard.
Ishbia,
I've heard.
If you Google it, Ishbia bought it, right? So by that time, Ishbia finally takes over. I want to say like in 2028, 2029.
Yeah,
they're gonna start
2029.
I see
That's
it.
3
Yeah.
years from now. I mean, man, I don't know.
Yeah, they're
We'll see
aiming
if I'm
for
still
potential
around.
development in the early 2030s.
Yeah.
Oh, 2030s.
we still
I
got
mean,
some
you guys
time.
will be pushing 60 by the time.
We'll be all right.
Well, you also got to contend with the Bears too. I mean, and their stadium
Yeah, that is
building.
true.
He already bought it though. So
Yeah, no, he bought it. Yeah.
So he would fund the whole stadium.
He bought the
No
land.
tax
The
breaks.
city's
Oh, the
gonna have
land.
to chip
Okay.
into. Yeah, the city's
So
gonna-
it's kind of like the Bears buying the land in Arlington, but
Yeah.
are they really going to go there? So there's a lot of politics it's got to go through.
Yeah. I just think
Yeah.
Ishbia's got his hand in the cookie jar with this stuff, so I don't think he's gonna let a guy like Murakami go. I really don't. As a businessman, he's probably not, and especially for contending. I personally think we are. We're gonna be contending just because our division sucks.
Well, you look at 2030. Let's say 2032, they get the stadium built. That's 6 years from now.
Right.
So even if they sign Murakawa to a 7-year contract, they always have out clauses. He's only here 5 years, so that's
City. We'll see. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
we will.
That's just like my thinking on that situation. But the more I think about it, and the more I sit with you Cub fans, the more I think.
yeah, you want it.
The Sox have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Cubs winning the division.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking. Come on, come to reality. Come
We'll
to
see
the
what
right.
happens.
Yeah, let's not get
shoot me if
delusional.
I'm wrong. I mean, it is believable. Why is it not? We are a game.
Well,
I said,
let
let's
me
not
put it
get
this way.
delusional.
Yeah, let's not get delusional. Now, if the Cubs don't make the playoffs, that will be the biggest collapse in
Yeah.
all
I
of
got
baseball.
Cub fans
doubt.
saying every time a pitcher goes down for bending over to play with their kids.
Well, that
The
is
season's over.
unreal. That is, yeah, they've been saying that.
Yeah, talking about the
Well,
dog days of summer. I mean, a beat up.
we're gonna get Freddie Peralta. Yeah, that's all the talk today.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of trading away a lot of your farm. The Cubs will be fine. Like now they're saying Jackson Wiggins could be back in a couple weeks, so you got him. But then some people say they should trade him, and he's one of the trade baits for Freddie Peralta. Come on,
Yeah.
why would you give him up? I'd rather give him a shot.
Yeah, I see a lot of the mocks. It's always that they were giving up a pretty big haul for Peralta, at least the mock trades I saw. So then it's like, is it really
Well,
worth it? Like, I don't know.
See, Council knows him, and Council likes him, so I think. Although I think that's why they keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's just
Yeah.
all hearsay.
Yeah, no,
Don't
definitely.
believe everything you read on X.
The last thing I wanted to quickly mention here is, did you see that play yesterday versus the Rangers, the replay review call? What was that? So the
God.
ground ball to Bush throws Jake. I don't know if you saw it. Bush throws it home, clearly tags runner out. Umpire calls him safe. Replay review council wants to get it looked at again. You can clearly see the guy is tagged on his leg, but they still don't overturn it. What is the point of having a replay review system if you completely botch a call like that? That honestly, like if you want to talk about there's the fixes in on some games, that is a clear example. And some people are going to argue like, oh, it was indecisive or there was no conclusive evidence.
It was conclusive. They
What?
kept showing it was conclusive.
Yeah.
He was out. And that goes back to our last take when I was going off about that. The instant replays between in all sports. This gets ridiculous. If you're going to have it, get the call right, make the call right. Otherwise, don't do it then. Then don't even bother with it because it's a joke. But that
Mhm.
was a big part of the game at that point.
Yeah, I
So
mean, obviously the Cubs still put up 0 runs, so like you
who
still got
knows? Who knows? Maybe they would
yeah.
have came back and won the game, as
Yeah, I
wishful
mean,
thinking
hey,
Cub
hey,
fan
you
would
never know.
say.
You never know.
I
But
did fall asleep towards the end of the game because I'm like, I don't think they're gonna win. I took a little nap.
yeah, no, I
So
mean,
that's how bad they
wasn't a
were
fun
playing.
watch. Yeah, that wasn't a
Yeah.
fun watch.
And I wasn't going to turn on some Sox game at that point either, because I definitely would have fell asleep.
I mean, that was a great game. It was a tight game. It was an old school game. It probably reminds you of your
uh,
10-year-old when it's 2-1.
well, wait, you just got through saying at the beginning you stopped watching baseball because it was boring. It's a 1-0 game.
Yeah,
How exciting is
I
that?
don't
Come
like
on.
those games. I don't like those games. As me, it's
Yeah.
just like a game watching for fun and
Had
gambling.
the under or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
great
If you
game.
root for the under, that's right. 5-run under.
But
That's what you were looking for.
I'm over here looking at this. The only game I see the Sox losing against the Cubs is when Fetty's on the bump, and he's been pitching like dog shit.
What day is that?
I mean, that's Sunday. You know, when it doesn't matter, when we already have 2 wins. Martin, K throwing, and I mean, Cabrera's pretty good, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's their ace right now.
He
I
had
know.
a shitty
Technically.
outing on Saturday, so he's due to come back. We got to hope. I don't know. That's yeah. If he has a shitty outing, that's not going to be good. Cubs are going to be in big trouble then, pitching wise.
I think
Yeah.
the perfect storm would be the Cubs. The Cubs come off they come off 2 series losses, and then the Sox bury them for a 3rd series loss. That would be that put us all right even with each other almost. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we'd still be up a little bit. Couple
Look, what
games,
I'm
maybe.
looking forward to is the real game in August when the Yankees come to Wrigley Field. That's what I'm looking forward
That
to.
will be a good game. That will be a
I
good game.
did. Like I said, I did brainwash these guys because I used to say, like, we're Cub fans, number one. I says, I used to say, we love the Cubs. We hate the Cardinals because you can't be a Cardinal fan if you're a
Right.
Cub fan, National League. We hate the White Sox. So, and if you're going to root for an American League team, root for the Yankees. So that's why I became a Yankee fan.
I give props to guys like your age that are like diehard Cub fans because you actually went through some dreadful shit. But like guys like Sammy and Joey and like
Yeah, we went through a good like 10 years where the Cubs are pretty bad. I mean, like back in like the Derek Lee
That's how
days.
it was for the Cubs all the time. But guess what? You
Yeah.
guys are still filling out the stadiums because you got trunks all over the place.
Hey, I took Joey to a playoff game. That was the Bartman game we were at. Problem is, I left in the 7th inning because we stood the entire game. Joey was 7 years old. I got this little kid at this game, and we stood on the chair. He stood on the chair the entire game. No one sat. And, he really didn't quite get the whole buzz, Cubs in the playoffs or anything like that. Then I thought to myself, my grandpa made me a Cub fan. And he's like, son, don't go to the games. He goes, he used to love listening to them on the radio. And that's how I am. I actually love listening to games on the radio. He goes, yeah, it's a waste of time to go there. But he was a big Cub fan. So,
No,
yeah.
the stadium's fun. I'll tell you what, I like going to Wrigley and having a good time and, drinking and just basically partying in the bleachers,
Yeah.
just like everyone else is. But, I mean, we know that majority of fans there aren't watching baseball. That's why they're standing up every time a pop-up's hit out of the outfield. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do want to get one more thing off while we're talking about Chicago sports.
Okay.
Bears under 9.5 wins. I don't even think they come close to seeing the division this year.
Whoa.
The Lions got the easiest schedule. They're gonna turn things around. They're gonna get healthy again. The Lions are gonna be way more improved. Everyone's got a target on the Bears' back. Caleb Williams is gonna have a little regression. Okay, I just don't think the Bears are gonna be there yet. I mean, I went to 2 Chicago Bears games. Okay, people that don't know my fandom, right? I'm not.
I know which one you went to
Yeah.
the Bengals and you got mad,
No,
so you
I
got
didn't
sour
go to the
grapes.
Bengals. I was the Bears' good luck charm last year. I'll tell you. I went to the Rams game and I went to the Raiders game where they blocked a kick to win the game.
Yeah.
And then I went to
Oh,
the
yeah, that
Packers
was
game where DJ Moore caught that freaking touchdown for the win. That
Yeah.
was a snooze fest. I mean, both of those games were snooze fests in the first half. The second half, they wake up, whatever. They have some miracle happen, like, Wrigley Black Magic shit. Now, that shit's not going to happen again this year. This is the NFL. It's not going to happen this year. You still got to work. You got the Lions. You got a tough division. Lions, Packers, and then the Achilles heel, J.J. McCarthy of the Chicago Bears. For the Chicago Bears' Achilles heel is J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. So,
Whoa. First of all, two things right there. You're implying that J.J.
Savage.
McCarthy's going to be the starting quarterback? No, it's Kyler Murray. Come on.
we'll
So,
see. Probably not.
but I am actually not going to disagree with you. As much as I think the Bears, you can call them lucky last year, but their offense for the first 3 quarters was not good, and they did get a lot of things go their way. I mean, the Caleb magic that happened at the late game, like those were a lot of fluky plays. As much as you want to give them a lot of credit for making the plays, they were pretty fluky. Even the Packers, when they got the onside kick recovery, like, is that going to happen again next year? It's very unlikely. We need to see some progression from the defense. We need to see the offense click for 4 quarters better than it was. Losing DJ Moore, I think that is going to be a huge loss because now you're kind of hoping Luther Burden steps up. I'm not a huge believer right now in Roman Dudzik. We haven't seen enough from him. And I'm not like Komet has been struggling. So you got Loveland and you got Burden that need to be Caleb's top weapons. The run game's still a little shaky. Like, you lost your center. It's not a bad pick to go under 9 wins. I do think they get over it, but I can see the argument there. I still do believe that the Lions are going to be better next year. I think the Packers, on paper, have a better roster going into next year. And, even the Vikings, you can't count them out. It is the best division, and I don't know if it's the best division in the football, but one of the top ones. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for the Bears. They got a lot of work to do this offseason. So
Yeah, they were asking today on the radio, like, who's the wide receiver 1 for the Bears?
I mean, it's technically Odunze. I mean, you give him the
No,
nod.
see, they all said Luther.
I agree with you, but like on paper, I mean, Odunze is your top 10 pick. He had some drop issues last year, but he's going to be slotted in as the number 1 guy. They're going to give him at least the looks for it to start.
And they're looking to sign I forgot who the tight end, having 4 tight ends on the team. They were talking to the offensive coordinator today. He sounded pretty good. They were saying, oh, this guy loves talking schemes. But they're talking about signing the 4th tight end and maybe carrying 4
Yeah,
tight
but wasn't
ends.
it Njoku? Njoku just signed to Chargers this morning.
No, it wasn't him. I forgot who the guy was who they're talking about signing. But, plus let's face it, too, with the defense. I mean, what really kept them in, the defense wasn't good at all. It's just that they would get those interceptions and get those turnovers. That's what carried the team is the turnovers. So who's going to be their pass rusher? They were talking about the defensive linemen, the 2 of the Bears. One of them has only played 74 snaps. That's it. That's not even a game, they're saying. And they're counting on that guy. The other guy is Booker. I forgot what they were going over the stats today, who the 2 or 3 defensive linemen that they're counting on. They have one has been injured, and they knew he would be injured when they signed him out of college. He tore his Achilles, and they don't know. They wouldn't tell you if it was the same Achilles that he tore in college or not.
Mm-hmm.
But they're banking on these guys to be your defensive linemen and not signing anyone. That's a big factor.
Yeah, I thought they.
Booker's
Yeah,
kind of solid. Booker's kind of solid.
Okay, that's what he said. If he has, let's say he's solid, he has 8 sacks. All right, that's pretty good. All right, who else?
I gotta say this. The Bears remind me a lot of a team.
don't say the Commanders.
No, they remind me of the Bengals during that Super Bowl window.
Of course, you'd say the Bengals.
That's all you want. They had a good quarterback. They had the receivers. They had this great offense or whatever. Their defense was dog shit. But guess what? During that Super Bowl run, what were they doing? Getting turnovers. So we all know that.
Right. Well, yeah, they were getting turnovers. But then the next year, they got poor Burrow hurt. I mean, he was getting
I'm saying at least we got a quarterback that can stay on the field. Knock on wood. But
Your guy's running around. He's at least thick. He's got he's at least got like a thick base to him. So he'll be fine.
Bro,
But
I
That
was
could
looking
be a
at clips
killer.
of Burrow the NFL was posting. I don't know whether they're at some like award show or whatever it was. And I'm
I do
like,
love Joey
this
Burrow. I
guy
do
is
love Joey.
I'm starting
there's
to
no
hate this
way he's staying
freaking
healthy.
guy.
No, no. He's doing everything but literally staying healthy. Like I see him all over doing everything.
No,
But
he's brutal. And you know what I think it is? And it's so sad. And I think it's going to be, this is how it's going to come down to. He just doesn't give a shit anymore about football for right now. He's going to get traded to the Rams, and the Rams are going to win. He's going to win a Super Bowl with the Rams. I'm telling you.
The Rams just signed. Who's
Rams.
that guy? Your buddy from
Besides,
Alabama.
they got Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
Nah,
Ty
Stafford's still
Simpson.
got a couple years left. Like people don't realize. Everyone they drafted Ty Simpson. Stafford won the MVP last year. He's got 2-3 years left at least.
Unless he has a back injury, because
But
he's got a weak back.
Guess what happens?
Thermal chamber that
Stafford
the air
retires.
immortal chamber they got. I don't know if you guys remember last year when Stafford he had this serious back issue going into week 1 and people were like, is
Exactly.
Stafford going to be ready to play week 1?
Is he gonna
And then
ready
they
to
bring in
play?
that
Yes.
immortal chamber shit. I've never heard of that. And now his back is magically just perfectly healthy. So we need to learn more about that machine. I think there was someone else using it in baseball. I think it was Mike Trout actually. He was using it and now he's healthy. So I kind of want to learn more what that actually does because it's obviously doing wonders. But yeah, he's
I
still
can
got
use
two
it
to
for
3
my
years
knees.
left. So Burrow, bro. Burrow is
Burrow's contract is up in what?
is it?
4 years now? 4 or 5 years now? That's going to be right in time when Stafford retires. And if McVay wants him, he's going to get him. I mean,
I could see
Joe
that. I
Burrow-
actually could see that.
And the worst part is about last year is Joe Burrow had one of the better offensive lines last year. He had no reason to get hurt. Like
Yeah.
all those other years, he was getting pummeled during the Super Bowl runs and those big deep playoff runs. But he was so good, he was staying in the pocket and making those throws. But now he has no excuses. He just needs to get healthy. That's
Yeah.
it. And we need to fire our freaking coach and start running the damn ball because that's how you protect the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, because even as he got hurt on it was versus Jacksonville. They have one of the best pass rushes, and so I don't know.
He
Yeah.
makes me mad. Sorry.
I know. But yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap things up here. Like we said, it's gonna be a good, exciting series this weekend. Cubs obviously got the Braves in between, so also we're gonna be paying pretty close attention to those games. But like I said, we got a little buzz, I guess you could say, on the north and south side here. I want to say, Jake, appreciate you coming on here, man, and
Yeah,
sharing your
Jake, I'll be
thoughts.
down I'm thinking of coming Father's Day weekend. So, I mean, winner, the loser has to buy the first round.
There you go.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
All right, there you go. Sammy might be coming down for that week too. So,
Yeah, we might be. We
All
might be
right.
there.
Point range. Shout out.
all right.
Yeah, but-
All right.
All right, well, yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We got episodes weekly every Sunday, unless it's an emergency pod like last week. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and see you next time.